Hey guys, today we're going to look at a great silicone mask. This mask is a little bit smaller. In fact, it only covers just the head. And this is off the character Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story Season 4, I believe? Yeah, Season 4. So in that, American Horror Story, it's great. It's an anthology series. They have both reoccurring characters and a reoccurring cast that sometimes plays different characters. If you really like Evan Peters, man, like check out American Horror Story and see him play many different characters. Freak Show, it takes place in the 50s. It follows a freak show. There is Twisty the Clown, who's like a partial antagonist to the part. He's like a side plot character. Anyway, he is a fantastic character. Probably the best horror-related character that's come out of film in the last 20 years or so. He's great. And what's so great about him is he's like an amalgamation of all the big, franchise horror players. You know, he's an evil clown, that sometimes does clown-like things, like use a whirligig, right? So that kind of reads, Tim Curry Pennywise. He is silent because he's missing a lower jawbone. He's hulking. So, he has that Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers energy. He wears his victim's flesh like a Leatherface or like an Ed Gein type of character. So he immediately invokes all these other characters, but yet is original in his own right. I wish more people had seen American Horror Story because, he popped up. He was all over the interwebs when he first came out. Very popular character. It's great to do the costume, but as time has gone by, less people, know about him, which is criminal because it's such a great character. Anyway, Twisty Clown is played by Jason Carroll Lynch. Hey, full disclosure, I'm terrible with names and I don't do any research for these. It's John Carroll Lynch. Jason Carroll? David Carroll? Carroll Lynch. He's been in a lot of things. He's a great working actor. I think the best thing he's ever been in, which is not a horror thing, it was the Trial of the Magnificent Seven. If you ever want to see some actors that you know from other things, just act hard and put out a great movie. Sacha Baron Cohen is a character in that, and David Carroll Lynch. David Carroll. John Carroll Lynch. He plays this pacifist guy, and it's kind of funny because you're like, oh yeah, he's Twisty the Clown. I've seen you murder people. Pacifist. Anyway, I've also randomly heard people say that it's the same guy that plays Kevin from The Office, which is hilarious to me, and not true. Totally different people. Anyway, so Twisty the Clown, he's fantastic character, fantastic portrayal, great series. American Horror Story, it's kind of like the original series Star Trek movies. Like, first one, great. Second one, crap. They're very hit or miss. And even within the seasons, episodes are either like fire or should be fired out of a cannon into a wall. So, it's one of those things, but if you want some really cool visuals, some creepy things, some great fun acting performances, it's a good thing to check out. But it is what it is. This mask, this is a silicone mask, and it was made by an employee of Composite Effects that was putting it together for a Halloween costume and did a limited run. I will say that their name is Brett. I won't say their last name because I don't know that they want to be hounded. I'm not even 100% sure. I don't think they work for CFX anymore. But anyway, he made this this headpiece. He also made the mouthpiece, which was really cool, and he did a limited run, and he had a friend of his named Rhonda that did a limited run of the costume, which you guys will get to see in a minute. So what we'll do is we'll flip the camera and we'll check this guy out up close. Yeah, so this was made, like I said, by Brett, and an employee at one of the bigger mask companies at CFX there. He made both the mouthpiece, which he sculpted and then cast in resin, as well as this, do we call it a hood, scalp? And this is all hand-punched hair. I have seen several of these that were done where they only did, the mohawk thing here, and they didn't punch any of the stubble. I think the stubble is really what makes and sells the character. What's nice is when I do the makeup for it, I put this on, because that's how I figured that Twisty would do it, and then I put the paint on it. So you see that I get excess paint around the scalp from where I put the makeup on kind of sloppily. And I think that also, helps with the character. Going around behind, it's just like a piece of flesh. You know, you can see in the back, and we'll look at this later, you know, where he sealed the hair in, so it'll stay there. And we got the mask just tied on the back remnant of the show, and then just some, you know, some weathering that he did. It's one of those things that the design of this is relatively simple, but the execution by Brett here was really next level. He did, you know, fantastic on this. Really, really fun piece and a great character. Let's check out the movement. All right, so a movement video on this thing is a little weird because obviously it's not going to move too much. Really, it's like a stay put video, because what I want to show you is that when you put this on, you're probably not going to lose it, have it fly off your head. You can see the thickness is kind of akin to an actual scalp. So that's kind of nice. Inside of the mask, you can see that he put silicone and sealed it so that hair won't come out. That made, you know, dyeing these after the fact a little bit easier, and then, you know, doing the styling and whatnot is very good. If I put this thing on here, which I just line it up and I put it on my head, you will see that number one, it looks fantastic. And number two is I can move my head around in all sorts of ways and it's not running away from me. And that's for a couple reasons. One, my hair, I think, helps hold it in place there. And two, it is heavy enough in its own right, and it covers enough in its own right that it kind of grabs and it has a pretty good hold on there. Now, my hairline is probably partially visible back here a little bit. The character of Twisty is bald. You can get around that by, you know, wearing a bald cap if you wanted, or shaving, you know. But there is another character in the show, I think his name's Dandy, if I recall right, that kind of like takes over Twisty's persona and like dresses up like him at one point. And I have been told that I kind of look more like Dandy wearing Twisty's outfit. I'm fine with that. That works for me. So yeah, so again, this looks great. I think the added little stubble is a great effect with the mask. My rope was kind of coming apart, so I had to add a little extension here. If I throw that on, I just kind of lick it up over my ears and then find the ends, and I'll just tie a knot in this really, really quick. That puts on, and again, it kind of looks oversized. You see a little bit of my chin here in my goatee, but I don't think that ruins the appearance of the character too much. And Twisty, you know, where he doesn't talk, you know, you can get away with doing like the slow moves and the Michael Myers head tilt and the different things like that, and having the kind of the locked in facial expression where only your eyes can do anything, I think is kind of unnerving. So it works really, really well. Obviously Twisty did not wear the Mount Crushmore shirt, so let's go ahead and check out the costume. So this is my Twisty the Clown costume. Again, headpiece and the mouth was done by Brett from Composite Effects. The costume was put together by his friend Rhonda. I don't think any of this stuff is available anymore. She did the bag. The bag is pretty cool. He had like body parts in it at one point, so it's bloodstained. But I've got some just some like juggling pins and things like that in there. I've got a pair of scissors because he does do some killing with some scissors early on. And then we got these like dirty clown whirligigs here. So, you know, you can just stand around doing that and looking disconcerting, and it usually freaks people out. And it gives you a way to communicate with people because Twisty isn't really supposed to talk. The mask and the clown thing, you know, it lends to your clown antics like pretty well. It flows, it's overly baggy. Again, David Carroll Lynch, bigger than me. Jason, I forget. Carroll Lynch, that guy, he played Twisty. John Carroll Lynch. He is larger than me, so he fills this out a little bit more. But I like having, you know, the ability to, you know, have a more of a fluid shape in it, so it works pretty well. I usually dirty up my neck just a little bit with this, so it reads a little bit more the part. And again, just doing that little held tilt thing.
really works. It allows you to creep people out. You know, just standing and staring at people. Works really well too. So a lot of different just easy things that you can do. This costume in itself, because it invokes so many different aspects of popular horror movie characters, I think just works on getting scares out of a lot of different people, just because it hits somebody somewhere usually pretty well. So again, the mask done by Brett from CFX, the costume Rhonda, his friend, and you can't have it.